tonight, and just a lot of encouraging things for a 20-point win.
Progress, because I think we're going to be a great free throw shooting team. We left so many points on the board. We scored 85, and I think we missed 3 front end. That would have been 100. When you miss that many free throws, 100 without great shooting. But I was really proud of our guys because that team had they went on a 17-1 run against Baylor. They were up 12 points in the first half against Baylor, and they had our attention because they can get it going, and you have to stop them. Otherwise, they're going to score a lot. And so I thought our defense got better from the last game. Our transition was better. We protected the paint a little bit better. Now, tons of room for growth, but there were some real positives.
I know it's a small sample size, but do you feel like the shooters are coming on faster this year than they did last year?
Well, the shooters are always good shooters. What makes a good shooter is shot selection and teammates getting better shots. Because we got guys that'll make them if you get each other shots. And that was our emphasis tonight. And I thought we did a really nice job of that. We got good shots and we put a lot of foul pressure on the defense. So instead of, if you settle for a bad shot against them, they turn it into points at the other end. And if you turn it over, you saw that tonight. We'd have a break, miss a lay-in, boom, 3 on the other end. You turn it over, bucket on the other end. They can run, and they can run well. So if you're running bad offense and just jacking it, they're going to rebound and run. And by us running good offense, it gives our offense rebounding a chance too. So, I thought 44 to 20 on the glass, 15 offensive rebounds. RJ Keem with 10. How about that? So, some really good things there. And I'm not concerned about the free throws because I know that it was our guys that is an anomaly. Just looked like that ball was a little bouncy or something. I don't know. It seemed like it was bouncing out.
Speaking of RJ, kind of a classic blue game for him.
Yeah.
How nice was that to see today?
Not only that, I thought he did a great job because number 10, Marvin McGee, for them, he's been a scoring machine, and he's seen a big bucket. If you give him good looks, he's gonna make a lot of threes. And we didn't give him that many good looks, and kept the ball out of his hands a little bit and made it tough for him. So I thought that was, and RJ was on him most of the time.
I know it's going to be different guys on different nights.
Yeah.
To score 85 and win by 20 and have Drew not score.
Yeah.
How's that?
No doubt. And I think with this team, and I hope to never see that again, because Drew, that's what got me so upset, because Drew was dealing with all that foul trouble last game. He was ready to have and I think it messed with him that first, guy has the ball and the defender just runs into him. It's not legal to just run into an offensive player with the ball, and they they pinned the foul on him right away, and that's what had me so upset. And because it set a tone a little bit in Drew's mind. But now I got to get him right to be able to play through that, and that's why he's here. He won't have another game like that.
Was that your earliest attack in a game?
It's going to be the earliest tech unless you report your starters wrong. I don't know how it could be quicker. So.
You mentioned the rebounding. Specifically, they only had 4 offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
How much of that is just a mindset for your kids to just close out on the glass, and a good defensive possession isn't over until you get the rebound? Is that a mindset that they're understanding?
It's the foundation of our program, and it wins us a lot of games. And these guys, we're becoming it's one of the best things we're doing right now. Now if we get those other things up to our, the speed of what our rebounding is, then we got a chance to be a really good team.
How are you liking Andrew Meadows' start to the season? It's not just tonight, but these first few games.
He's doing some great stuff. I'm getting used to the no goggles, and I think it's helping him. He's just seems like a more rounded basketball player. 21 points off 12 shots. Again, he missed 2 free throws, which he never does. You know, he won't miss any. 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Pretty, you know, he drew 3 fouls. Pretty darn good game, you know. And that's the Andrew Meadow that I know. And I want to say too, Peanut, you know, he's been fighting to get things going. Guys go through stuff, and guys go through. They have a lot going on, and ups and downs of college kids. And Peanut's a heck of a player. The game comes easy to him, so sometimes it, you know, like looks like he's not playing hard enough and he's not scrappy enough. That's what he has to control. He doesn't have to worry about his offensive stuff. That comes easy. He needs to rebound tough and guard really hard because he can do all that. You know, like rebounding is a foundation of what we do. He got a nice rebound and he let somebody just take it from him. And that's not what we do. We hold it and squeeze it, and he knows that. And so I was really happy that we got to see the Peanut that I know he's going to be. And we get that. My goal as a coach, you get all of these guys clicking together where we're all hungry dogs. We don't take a possession off, and we're gonna be, you know, got a chance to be really good.
So Javen kind of scoring from all 3 levels tonight. I know that first game was a tough one for him, but these last 2, it seems like he's kind of
because he's such a high character, total package guy that he showed up the right way, responded the right way, led his team the right way, and he just started grinding again, and instead of overthinking, and that's. I wasn't at all worried about Javen. It was a tough night for him that first night, but you know, he gets 15 and 7, 3 assists, 2 steals, had some good blocks, all those, you know, he impacts the game in a lot of different ways.
With Andrew last year, no matter who is scoring, who wasn't, you could almost always rely on Tyson. Can Andrew be that guy for you guys this year?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of guys that can, you know, and that's what I'm striving for, is that the consistency every night, you know, so I know what each guy's gonna bring every night. And, you know, that's what our program does well, because the consistency comes with your approach, your energy, your effort, right here. Not up and down and up and, you know, I gotta teach these guys right there. And so, you know, some guys are new to the program, they're still learning that. So when we get everybody just that way, you know, workmanlike and just sawing wood, then and doing their job so hard, then we're gonna get a lot better.
You guys closed well too, and you're only up, I think, 9 or 10 with like 7 minutes left to kind of, you know, put the foot down.
Yeah, that was good, because that's, like I said, that's a scary team. All of a sudden, you turn the ball over, whack, 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 3, you know, they have games where they always have big scoring runs, and I think we did a pretty good job of not allowing a bunch of scoring runs for them. We made them have to, you know, if this was a football game and you analyze time of possession, I think, you know, we doubled them, or you know, had a lot more minutes with the ball, and I think that a team like that, I think that can sometimes frustrate them.
At the end of non-conference play, what do you want the team looking like?
Well, the biggest thing that jumps out at me is our defense. Our defense has to be able to impact the game in a big, big way, you know, because we have shot makers, and, you know, like I said, we missed a ton of free throws tonight and had 85. So, you know, we're not gonna let our thumb off anything, or rebounding, but our defense has to get to the level of this program, and the level of, and we can, you know, because we've got quickness, we got size, we got, you know, physicality that we have to make more consistent. Our technique has to get more consistent, you know, because we're fouling a little too much, but in the wrong ways. So, you know, all the early season things that we have to get better at.
When you talk about those early season things, just curious, how much does it help having a lot of these games at home, kind of work those things out, not having to go through the rigors of travel early on? Does that make it easier to just iron the kinks out before you go to Maui?
Because you get better practices at home, you get better film analysis, you get, you know, so it's really big, no doubt. It's, you know, and the good thing is we played a scrimmage away, so we've got a lot of experience with that. You know, that's why we wanted to do that in the preseason like that. But this is important, especially with what's ahead.
Did they show up in
And
the
what's ahead Saturday is a really good team, you know.
Did they show up in the wrong color uniforms or what?
Yeah, that was awkward. Yeah, that, yeah, that was weird. You know, they have orange ones, but I guess they weren't washed.
So did you guys consider changing, or you just decided to stick with what you had, you didn't care?
Well, sometimes these guys in the summer play, they don't even play shirts and skins, and they don't. Maybe that's why we had 20 turnovers. We were having trouble seeing the color, because that bugged me, actually, you know. I mean, grays aren't supposed to, I think the officials probably should have made them wear that orange or something. I don't know. I think we could have, but I didn't wanna, you know.
Shouldn't have any.
But now, we have 20 turnovers. I'm not blaming that, no, but that was weird. You shouldn't have that. I mean, you got more colors.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.